Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and I am so excited to do this video. I've been wanting to do this video now for about 6.5 hours straight. So this video is going to be combining my two loves, and that is wrestling and RPGs. You want to know what's going on? Well, let's get started. All right, so last night before I went to bed, I saw a tweet from, I believe, Satine Phoenix, and I commented, and it was about the big feud that's been building up between MJF and Brandon Cutler. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory first before I get into it, but Brandon Cutler is a professional wrestler who loves Dungeons and Dragons. His ring gear has dice on it. His finisher is the TPK. I believe he even says that he has a critical role bear hug or something like that. I've talked to him a few times through DMs and back and forth on Twitter as well over the last few months, and he's a super cool, super nice dude. Had some interactions on Twitter with his wife, and again, she seems really cool as well. They do cosplay together. His wife does some of the other wrestlers' gear, and she seems, like I said, also extremely nice. So that is the quick little scoop on Brandon Cutler and why this is relevant to this RPG channel. Now, a little bit more backstory. He's been friends with the Young Bucks for many years. He used to train to be a professional wrestler. He got away from it. He, because of his friendship with the Young Bucks, got into filming their show, Being the Elite, for them. And not every show, but he did a lot of it with them. He's helped them behind the scenes a lot over the years. And was offered a contract when AEW started to help, do some video there, it sounded like. He also then got a contract offered to him to be a wrestler. Now, it's not like he hadn't wrestled in years and they just gave him a contract to be a wrestler. He was kind of getting back into it for a little bit before they offered him this. However, they did it on the show Being the Elite, which is a fantastic wrestling show. There are non-wrestling fans who have watched it too and really like it. It's on YouTube. And when he was offered the contract, it was a surprise, and they did it on the show. And he broke down crying, and it was this really good, heartfelt moment. They said that he had been struggling financially for a little bit, so it was really awesome to see. So that was back in, I want to say March. And it led up to, and it may have been even February, but it led up to their big show, Double or Nothing, which was their very first show. And he was in the Battle Royal to start off the show. One of it was like 21 people. Anyways, so where he had the dice stuff. And that's when I discovered him, is then. I knew who he was before then. I didn't know his passion for RPGs until the Battle Royal when he had dice on his gear. And so then I was like, I got to promote this guy. Now, I have multiple Twitter accounts. One is strictly for RPGs, one is strictly for wrestling, one is strictly for sports, because those are my three big things. However, when I want something and I'm in the mood for a certain thing, I like to go to that specific Twitter in order to see what I want. I don't usually cross those things over to the others. My wrestling Twitter is Wrestle Talk with Juice, or Wrestling Talk, Wrestle Talk with Juice. I don't get on there as much as I get on my RPG one. My RPG one is the one I use the most. I also have a Sports Talk one. And the same thing with YouTube. I actually have a YouTube channel for wrestling, and I have a YouTube channel for sports, and this. Anyways, I've talked to him both on the wrestling Twitter and my RPG Twitter. And, yeah. So anyways, on Being the Elite, what they've been doing for a while is MJF is a rich, snobby, silver spoon, trust fund baby, basically. And he, in his character, is always cutting very old school heel promos. He talks about how he's better than you and he knows it, but then he talks about how he's the salt of the earth. and puts himself over all the time, no matter who he's talking to. He's been on Talk is Jericho. They called the whole episode a 1-hour promo from MJF, where he even takes slight jabs at Jericho. He's done the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, where a little bit of the same thing. So anyways, that's just his character. I don't know what he's like in real life, but I personally like him as a heel in wrestling. Now, this is the first time he's taken jabs at a class of people other than poor people, right? This is the first time he's done it at a community I'm truly passionate about, right? And I know there are some in our community who have a hard time with bullying, and so they genuinely just don't like this, and I get that. It's easy for me to say, hey, this is entertainment. I view it as just entertainment, but if you don't like it, I completely understand. Now, clearly, he's the villain. He's the bad guy. He is the villain in this storyline. He is the favorite to win this match. He's probably going to win this match. However, I, just like a lot of you, really want to see Brandon Cutler win. I think that would be a huge move that AEW could do to basically show that, hey, we're going to give fans of this community someone to cheer for, and over the biggest villain they have. Now, he's not the most popular villain. He's just the most skilled. He is always good at riling people up. That's his strength, right? And I don't know, based on Twitter and the hundreds of people who have commented on all of the posts, this is probably the best thing AEW could have done. And I'm just really excited about it. I mean, I've seen people like Joe Manganiello, Xavier Woods, Satine Phoenix, Matt Mercer, Leva Bates, who's another wrestler, all these other people just comment on this. I've seen other big YouTubers and Twitch streamers comment on this. And I personally think it's awesome. I think it's good for the community because it's something for us all to rally behind. As a wrestling fan, I hope that maybe some of our RPG guys actually watch on October 2nd on TNT. I'm going to be running D&D because I have a Wednesday night game, but I will be watching the replay. Not the replay, but I will be watching a recorded version probably the following day. But again, I'm rooting like hell for Brandon Cutler. Like, this is awesome. And Brandon Cutler, I know his shirt is a D20. I think he calls it the Cutler 20 or something like that. It's a D20 with like his logo with his name, so like a C that looks like a dragon. It's really cool. You can go pick it up on Pro Wrestling Tees. Go to the AEW store and you'll see it there, or just look up Brandon Cutler on 1 Hour Tees. I almost bought it as a tank top. I really wish I did, especially right now, because I'd probably be wearing that instead of my AEW shirt. But I have not gotten around to buying it. My whole thing is, we have someone in our community who's pursuing a passion of theirs, a dream of theirs to be a wrestler. Let's support him, in any way possible. And it looks like some of his stuff is going to be geared towards us anyway. So I would love to rock that Cutler shirt. So again, I want you guys, if you think about it, just rally around him, promote him, do what you got to do. Share everything about him. Again, he's a genuinely good guy that it's hard not to root for him. He's exactly what this community, I think, prides itself on. He's loyal. He's a good friend, good husband, good father. What more could you ask for, right? So, Brandon Cutler, the true underdog, right? Probably, without his connections to the Young Bucks, would not be in AEW. However, he's there. So let's show AEW we like this guy, and maybe they'll push him. Maybe he'll see a lot of success as long as enough of us are rooting for him and cheering him on. So that would be cool. Let's help him out as much as we can. Now, I'm going to do another video like this here very soon about wrestling and RPGs. This probably isn't going to be a regular thing, just so you guys know. Maybe every now and then I'll give you guys an update on how Brandon Cutler's doing, in case you're curious and aren't interested in watching. But for the most part, I'm still not going to cross my brands, my YouTube channels. I'm not doing much with the wrestling one at the moment, but I do plan on doing more with it. I try to do a video here and there with predictions on AEW shows, occasionally WWE shows, but I'm just not that into them anymore. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, head on over there and subscribe over there. I'll have a link below. You should also be able to see, if you go to my channel, I'll have links to my other channels on the right, so you can go follow those. But yeah, so let's hope that he rolls a nat 20 and gets a critical hit and TPKs the shit out of MJF. If this is your first time here, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hammer that like button, and leave a comment below on what you think of this whole feud. I would love to hear your thoughts. This was Master of the Game. I am Juice. Game on.